I was walking up to Doug's one day with Craig after the first time we ever tried writing songs together, and we wrote 2 songs, neither of which ever went anywhere. And I was thinking about the band Ride, and they have a song called Polar Bear. And I was like, Polar Bear, that'd be a cool band name. And then, Craig said something, and I was like, but really, it would have to be a more esoteric bear or obscure bear, like the Spectacled Bear. The Spectacled Bear, that's kind of lame. So it would have to be Sun Bear or Sloth Bear, and Craig likes Sloth Bear. It kind of just stuck.
It's been great. I'm really happy that I finally got a band where it's everyone's main focus, and we've been doing everything I've always wanted to do with a band since I first got the idea to even want to form a band.
When was that?
8th grade.
Did it just like hit you like I want to do a band?
I used to want to be a pro baseball player, but then I realized that that would probably be hard, and that being a rock star would be a little easier. And so I just had an epiphany one night and just decided that's what I wanted to do.
What when you met Josh for the first time, what was it like?
We met on MySpace. We liked each other's bands at the time, and he sent me a message asking if we wanted to be on a compilation that his friend Doug was making of local bands, and said it would cost $400 to make. So I guess it seemed sketchy, but Ian and I agreed to it, and then they said that they wanted to meet up and discuss it. So we had to meet our newfound internet friends at the Jericho Diner.
Yeah, in the beginning of the band, I mean, technically we were called Slothbear, but we really weren't yet Slothbear. Craig and I each fronted our own bands that Doug and I were in both bands. And the drummer that I'd been playing with, this guy Ori, Ori sort of thought that this was a waste of time to have 2 different bands. So Craig and I, who were both like our own band's biggest advocates in the past, sort of talked about it and decided that having both of us gunning for the same band and it being like both of our focus, like we thought that this would be more fun and probably more promising. And, we practiced maybe once or twice, and then Craig I guess Craig and I both started talking to Ian again.
I first asked him if he wanted to be in the band, and I was like, maybe we can work out 2 drummers.
And I mean, the band chemistry wasn't as good then because Ori didn't really like the same stuff as the rest of us. One day, Ori got pissy about Ian being in the band and quit. And what ended up happening was that we jammed with Ian, who I didn't think, because in our old band Ian didn't really play that well. I mean, Ian was a pretty weak drummer at one point.
And I was like, Josh, we should go practice at Ian's house and just, run through the songs and see how good he is.
So, I was skeptical about it, but we jammed with him one day, and it just came out like so much better than it was with Ori, and like that's like when the chemistry really clicked. When we took this song, like our song, The Exceptional Bastards, which was sort of like a mellow song when we were playing it with Ori, and just the way Ian like turned it on its ass and just like sort of tore it up, and I started to branch out. Like I started, you know, playing guitar with a drumstick on parts of it, and like that's when the energy was really captured.
So there was a Battle of the Bands at Purchase, and I mean, none of us at the time were going to Purchase. It was really stupid of us to think that we could go to another school's Battle of the Bands, enter and win. Like, it was clearly going to be biased towards Purchase students, but we went up there, and the winner was going to get to play Culture Shock, which is their big festival every year, and we were like, you know what, I think we could do this. At the time, we were like, yeah, we can win. And so we drove up there. Dave Bleak was going to play this, I guess, sampler. He was going to sample things we were playing live, like the band Mission of Burma, and then run them through the PA, so that like if I play a certain guitar note, he would take that and like loop it and like have it come out delayed and stuff. Like, it was kind of a sound collage kind of element. The first song seemed to go decently well, I mean, and then the second song, things, I guess the levels are fucked up. That's the problem we've always had, is guitars being too loud and the sound quality just overall being crappy. And then they started rushing us, and so we're playing Don't Taunt a Tiger to close out the set. And they just announced that our time's up in the middle of the song through the loudspeaker, and they're just like, yeah, get off stage. And so I was like, you know what, we came all the way up here. I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I just started like banging my guitar on microphones, and like we just started taking the stage apart and stuff and just going nuts and making noise. And we just refused to get off stage. And then, I mean, we had a huge meltdown, and Dave Bleak was actually the first to grab the megaphone we had at the time and just shout, "Bear sloth, Slothbear!" And just, that like gave birth to this ridiculous phase of the band where at the end of the show we would just grab that megaphone and go around chanting Slothbear and just have a sort of retarded meltdown. And yeah, we didn't win.
A popular metaphor to talk about the music industry currently is sort of a new Wild West scenario, in that a lot of the old rules no longer apply.
What are some of these old rules?
Well, just what was dictated by the sort of false economy of major labels. There was an endless supply of money that came out of seemingly nowhere, with which any record label could pick up a band, give them a huge advance, record this album that no one listened to, and like be okay with that because like whatever, like they were basically making money off of like the top 2% of all the artists they were working with, and the other 98%, you know, were being carried along on that wave. It didn't even matter, they're still profitable because they're just making such huge margins off of everything.
Off that 2%.
Yeah. I mean, another huge difference, and one that's really important to what I do, is the availability of high quality recording gear to anyone with, you know, a little bit of cash. I mean, without that, I wouldn't have been able to make the Slothbear record. I would have had to rely on some outside investor to buy me studio time, or I'd have to find like the money to buy studio time, which is incredibly expensive if you're going to a good place.
Is this where you've done it all?
Yeah, pretty much. There's also I go to NYU for recorded music, and that's where I started to really learn how to record, even though I've been doing it since high school.